Just about everyone who starts on their fitness journey typically wants to get one thing when they get in shape, and that is to have abs, because whether you have big muscles or small, if your abs are showing, people typically think you're fit. And when I give people coaching plans when I first start with them, they usually notice that there's no ab exercise and they say, well, what do I need to do for my core? And that's where we get to the point of most people are training abs wrong. And I'm going to share with you what the people who actually have abs are doing, because it's probably different from what you think. I've overheard this conversation many times from guys who typically have a gut, aren't lean at all, and they're eating burgers or fries or pizza, and they're like, hey man, you've been doing your crunches? Oh yeah, I have. We're gonna get those abs. And I'm thinking, not when you're eating like that. And the funny thing is, when I'm in the gym and look around, typically the only people that I ever see using the dedicated ab equipment or doing leg raises or crunches or different ab exercises are the guys who are overweight, because they're thinking that's gonna get them abs, because I wanna get fit, I wanna get in shape, and I wanna see abs. But that's the thing. The problem is you can't see their abs, because when it comes down to it, everybody has abs. You just have a layer of fat over top of them, so you can't see them. So what exercise do you need to do to get those abs? It's a little thing called putting the fork down. That's step number one, because you have to eat less food and make your body burn the fat off of it until you can see those revealed abs. As long as the fat's there, it doesn't matter what kind of ab exercise you're doing, it's not gonna magically make them show through the fat. And cardio is another one that's going to help you get abs, because the cardio is gonna help you burn more calories and make your calorie deficit greater so that the fat goes away faster and you can see the abs. And when it comes to actually training abs, I don't put it into people's programs, because if you're training compound movements like squats, deadlifts, rows, any kind of hard lift where you're having to brace your core, which really you should be doing for every exercise, you are working your core, you're working your abs, you're working your lower back, and all those exercises if you're keeping a tight core. But something people don't tend to consider is that if you start doing dedicated training to your abs, you're doing all kinds of crunches, you're progressively overloading them just like every other muscle, training them maybe twice a week hard, they're gonna grow. And what happens when they grow, it's going to make your waist bigger. So if you're not losing the fat, really you're just gonna make your core area look even bigger. Not crazy, but you are just making the abs bigger without actually showing them underneath the fat. Granted, if you do get down to where you're lean enough to see your abs and they're not very big, sure, you can do some dedicated work to actually grow them some to get the look that you want, but doing a bunch of ab exercises isn't gonna help with that. You're trying to get to the place where you can actually see your abs. And you ideally, as far as aesthetic bodybuilding standards are, want a smaller waist with a wider upper body so that you have that V taper. So the smaller you keep your waist, and losing the fat's gonna help that and reveal the abs, it's gonna make it look more impressive. So you gotta put the fork down. You got to do cardio to help with losing the fat, and just cardio in general is good for your health. It's good for your heart. A lot of people work out all the muscles. I used to do this and never do cardio, but because I learned, hey, I just eat less and now I'm lean. You can see all my muscles better. You can see the abs. Cool. But I did blood work and found out, oh, I have high cholesterol, and I'm not really working my heart that hard when I'm lifting weights, because it's doing these short sets of things. So I started doing dedicated cardio twice a week, and it really made a difference on my blood markers. It helped with my workouts overall, and I'm a lot healthier because of that. And in order to be in a calorie deficit, you have to change the way you eat. So that comes down to your diet mostly, because you can do all the cardio that you want, but if you're still eating burgers, you're still eating pizza, ice cream, all these high calorie, highly palatable foods, it's gonna be a lot harder for you to be in a calorie deficit. So I have a lot of videos on the channel to help you get into a calorie deficit, from videos on different recipes. I've got all kinds of things from different protein oatmeals and yogurts and pancakes and pizzas and waffles and French toast, lots of things that will help you to get a higher volume of foods that are lower in calorie and high in protein, because as you're in a calorie deficit, especially, you want to eat higher protein, around 1 gram per pound of body weight on the high end, in order to maintain the muscle that you have, or to help build muscle if you're newer and you're able to build muscle while you're losing fat. But those will make you feel more full while being in a calorie deficit, because one of the hardest things for people to do with sticking to a diet is the hunger. So if you're feeling more full because you're eating these lower calorie foods that are more voluminous, it's going to help you to stick with your diet, and try not to lose too quickly, because that's just going to make it hard to maintain. So check out those videos. I also have lots of videos on the channel of different snacks that'll help with that, of fast food places with good options that are lower in calorie. Not the best, but it'll show what kind of menu items for lots of different restaurants are gonna be better for you to choose rather than just going and getting burgers and fries and blowing, you know, 3/4 of your day's calories in that one meal, which will result in you suffering and feeling more hungry later on in the day because, well, your calories are already gone. So keep that in mind. Doing specific ab exercises isn't going to help you see your abs more. It's losing the fat. Sure, you can if you want to strengthen your core, but if you're doing heavy compounds, you're already going to be working your core. I never do dedicated ab training. I have different programs from push-pull leg splits twice a week for 6-day split. I've got upper and lower splits that I do, full body workouts. You can incorporate these things depending on how much time you have and get good results. The big thing though is with looking the way you want, diet is what it takes. So if you have any questions about diet, post them down in the comments and I can help you there with that. Let me know if you have any other questions. Hit that like button if you like this video, and I'll see you soon.